What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. Understand here, it is summer. This is sunshine season. You understand that I'm a bit of a natural optimist to begin with anyway, and I can kind of logic and talk myself into anything. That said, Jake, listen to this. Listen to these headlines from multiple different Saints beat writers here, because I'm starting to get a little excited for this offense and for Derek Carr. And I don't care if I'm an idiot, okay? Because I see the vision, and it appears to be all coming together. And look, go ahead and get that Marshall Newhouse sound ready there, that video, Taylor, in the first segment there. Word on the street right now is, Jake, and we got to be objective, okay? You got to call a spade a spade. Remember when Jameis Winston wasn't practicing that well, but we were still kind of trying to convince ourselves that it was going to go really well? Well, word on the street is Derek Carr is practicing very well right now and looks damn good. In fact, here's the headline of Luke Johnson's practice notes from the other day. Quote, Saints observations. Derek Carr looks like the player the Saints wanted him to be. Here's a Nick Underhill tweet from yesterday. Derek Carr has looked great in this offense all summer long. And here's a Ross Jackson tweet from yesterday. Quarterback Derek Carr ended practice 6 of 6 with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion and end of the game 2-minute simulation. He threw the touchdown, a 25-yard wheel route to Alvin Kamara, followed up by a 2-point conversion to Rashid Shaheed. This is not in the tweet. Interestingly, in that two-minute drill that they ran into the game, they're down 5. They got to go score to win. The 6-6, 3 targets to Taysom Hill. And reportedly from reading about practice, Taysom Hill running a lot of routes out of the backfield. You can feel it. The Kubiaking intensifying. Somewhere out there, Mickey Loomis gum smacking is intensifying as well, as he's getting ready for a massive I told you so if Derek Carr actually ends up being good. And Jake, lest you say T-Bob, Klint Kubiak cannot solve everything, you are an idiot. I don't wholly disagree with you on the latter part, but on the former, there's a very smart outside of football voice that has added to the Kubiak chorus. Here is Marshall Newhouse on the Mina Kimes pod. They're talking about the Saints X Factor, and they actually say it's Talisi Fuanga. But listen to what Marshall has to say about Kubiak and how he can help the Saints team.
Am going offensive line for the New Orleans Saints. And I'm going with the guy that they took in the first round this year. I'm doing another rookie here, and that's Talisa Fuanga, who is finally, we got one. Fuanga is making the move from right tackle to left tackle. I have questions about that. I know you've watched Fuanga. Like, how do you feel about him making that move, and why did you choose him along with me as being like the X factor for this team?
The move from right tackle to left tackle is downplayed a little too much. It's a difficult transition, especially for a rookie, but he went to just an incredible situation. And in the past, I wouldn't have said that in New Orleans particularly. So I'm excited about this pick. I also think it cannot be overstated that the signing of Klint Kubiak is going to be huge. I call it just arbitraging pass rush situations, because over the course of an average 60 to 70 offensive snaps, the amount of times that you just give a defensive end, an edge rusher, a pure one-on-one pass rush, the more times you can decrease that in creative ways in the flow of your offense, the better you'll be, especially when there's a mismatch or you have a young guy or a guy who's switching positions.
Bro, that is exactly what we have been saying about Kubiak, and hopefully the difference between what Pete Carmichael running with, he was running. Like, if Trevor Penning sucks, here's a tip. Don't constantly leave him on an island against an elite edge rusher. And that's exactly, like, I found it very validating to hear an 11-year vet, Super Bowl champ in Marshall Newhouse, an outside voice echoing the same exact kind of positive spin stuff that we have been here in-house in terms of what's like the best case scenario with a Klint Kubiak and how do you make people look better. So the Saints are going to win 10 games. They're going to win the NFC South, and they're going to make the playoffs. I feel it in my bones, my loins, and Derek Carr is going to have a great year.
You want to stamp that?
I'm stamping
that's
it.
Real?
I'm stamping it. I'm feeling it.
Okay.
6 of 6, 2-minute drill at the end of minicamp. Okay, I don't know. Like, what are you gonna? I'm sorry, I'll trust the football. You know, that's you can go out there and you can watch your combine tape and all that. I'll trust the football.
Yep.
And I saw 6 dominant games to end last year. I see 6 of 6 on a 2-minute drill with a wheel route to AK for a touchdown. Marshall Newhouse out here pumping up Kubiak. The Saints are back in a big way.
So the sound we played yesterday from Chris Olave, it is important to point out he mentioned Taysom Hill as well. And Taysom Hill is going to line up everywhere. We've seen him at fullback, tight end, running back. He's going to have a role. Like, he is going to be the toy that Kubiak uses in this offense like Deebo Samuel was. I'm not saying they're using him like Deebo Samuel, but he's going to be the guy that they attempt to use in multiple ways. Like, I think we can go ahead and we can stamp that for sure. Like, that looks like it's guaranteed.
Yes.
Okay? Now, on the Derek Carr front, are you sure you want to go there? Like, you sure you want to say, okay, yeah, I believe this is going to happen? Because you're right. Like,
I will cut my nuts off.
Don't say
if
that.
Derek Carr is not a top 12 quarterback at the end of this football season.
7-11 on June 13th. This will be timestamped.
Hell yeah.
6.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tiger droppings. Have fun with that one. Okay? I've survived one bet. I have one hanging in the air, which is a guarantee. Florida would have to win the SEC. And now Derek Carr is going to be a top 12 quarterback. Easily. Can I get a risk? Can I get an injury provision? Can I get injury insurance here? Like, if he gets hurt, it's off. If he misses 3 games or more. Deal?
I guess. I mean, you just put your nuts on the line.
Yeah.
For Derek Carr.
Because I believe. Okay?
Well, you keep talking about the end of the season, and you're right about the stats of it, but you also need to mention that they played a team that would have had the number 1 overall pick, the number 6 overall pick, and the number 8 overall pick in that stretch of last 5 games.
Yeah. Hey, you got to beat the bad teams if you want to win 10 games. And I'll tell you. I mean, statistically, don't the Saints have one of the easier schedules entering the season, even though the beginning is very hard in terms of how it breaks down? Like, a lot of quality on the front end. That's fine. Take some early punches, grow a bit. Y'all are going to be making fun of me. Saints will be like 2-3. Like, oh, my God, your nuts are done. And then Derek Carr and the boys are going to come out hot and take over.
Also,
look, I see the value. Okay, I see the vision.
Also, one of the games that you're talking about in that final 6, he averaged 4.6 yards an attempt. Yep. Another one, 6 yards per attempt. Mm-hmm. Another one, 5.8 yards per attempt.
Pete Carmichael, I don't know what to tell you. He's not arbitraging the pass rush like Marshall Newhouse was talking about. I don't know, man. This is okay. A bit of this is tongue in cheek, but a lot of it's also not tongue in cheek. Like I do see legitimately the areas in which the Saints could be much better offensively this year. And again, these are a lot of Saints beat writers, right, who have caught a ton of flack for talking about how good Derek Carr looked last year in practice and everything else, and how this franchise quarterback is supposed to look and all that stuff. And every week we talk to Nick, you could tell like he's very hesitant about wanting to be positive because everybody wants to be negative right now. And if he's ever positive, he gets shouted down to me as a homer, sunshine pump, or whatever. But objectively, it sounds like it's going really well practice-wise for Carr and the offense. And I know the defense is going to be good. Like, I'm a firm believer that the defense is going to be top 10. I don't know, man. I see value. Again, I would smash the Saints over win total at 7.5. I think that's an easy win here. So, yeah, get ready. Whatever you want to say. Whatever you want to,
Top 12.
I'll stand out here alone. Top 12. Top 12.
So what
12 is.
Yeah, but like in terms of what?
Are we going quarterback rating?
We don't need to nail down too many specifics, right?
I think you do.
Nope.
You mean like if you look at the overall numbers?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
so I need to allow myself a little latitude. Okay, I need to maybe it's like, oh, he's like 11th in yards, or like, oh, he's like 12th in quarterback rating, or oh, he's like 12th in yards per attempt. Like, I got to allow myself a little wiggle room here.
12th in anything.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Sounds
he's gonna be a top 12 quarterback by the end of the year. Okay, the Raiders should have never let him go, but they did.
Ooh.
Their loss is our gain, and he may felt used, but with this with Kubes in town, it's looking like a new car lining up for the New Orleans Saints this fall?
I hope you're right.
I don't think you do.
For your nuts' sake.
I don't think you do. I don't think you want me to be right because your hate of Derek Carr has blinded you.
It is not a hate. It is when he got signed last offseason, I took a step back and I just looked at who he's been in his career. He's had highs and he's had lows, and the lows were more recent than the highs. And you looked at who the Saints had offensively, you kind of looked at the system, and I said, this is not going to go well. And it didn't. Now, he finished strong. Congrats to him. And again, I do hope that he is really good, because when the Saints are good, that's better for us here on this show.
I don't think you do. You love Kirk O'Chains too much.
Well, I mean, Kirk Cousins is the far better quarterback.
You love Kirk O'Chains too much. You're going to be a Falcons fan this fall. I see all the elements.
No, there's only one
here.
person in here that's ever been a Falcons fan, and that is you, sir.
Yeah, that's true. I was a massive Falcons fan growing up.
Like, I got my own issues with my own NFL team, okay?
Look, guys, I'm not entirely trolling here. I'm really not. The Marshall Newhouse bit there has empowered me to believe that maybe Coobs really can be that panacea. Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.